Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second cast of the day. Yes, indeed, it's going to be Langres again. Trouble is, when I have to do two double casts so short, with so little pause in between, I am suddenly running out of good replays, and so again I have to fall back on Langres, which does feature another good match, or at least interesting. Both players here are level 16, just very important to note, so not exactly novices. There's going to be some interesting things, also some very bad mistakes, but we'll get to that soon enough. In the northern part, we shall be seeing ArcSaber fighting for the, I don't know, let's just say the Panzer Lehr. Opposing him shall be Mr. Atomicvaultboy, fighting for the Americans, fighting for the 2nd Infantry Division. Going to be quite a bit of a fight. And of course, my apologies for the first episode, or the previous one. Sadly, technical difficulties did appear as I was trying to sort of put it together, and when this movie makes sense, I had to sort of cut out little bits that sort of felt weren't really that important. And well, my apologies. Such things happen when I have to cast games that are actually too long in that sense. So my sincerest apologies. Of course, we'll be back on the fact. But note, I mean, we are seeing ArcSaber actually going for 3 pioneers, no, 2 pioneers. That's actually my apologies. But we are seeing him actually focusing right here on the east, and then with the Falcons actually going here to connect the point, whereas our American friend Atomicvaultboy is taking things a bit more casually. He's in fact heading pretty swiftly on the west. I mean, both are sort of staying on their side of the road. They're a bit cautious. They're not quite keen on crossing the road as of yet. Although, man, we'll be seeing that soon happening. 2nd Volkskrone squad out on the way for ArcSaber. Of course, have to see how this one works out. Rifleman, what are they up to? And note, he's actually wiring off here pretty early on, expecting perhaps some sort of initial American assault. Volkskrone is moving through the fields of France. More barbed wire. Looks like we'll be seeing the first engagement here. Right, engineers moving in right in front of the Volkskrone coming under fire. Riflemen sneaking up here, perhaps try and hit the flanks. As he's sort of imagining again, this is rather where a lot of Wehrmacht players go. Perhaps he's just going for the fuel pump, but of course now sees the flanks are open. We are seeing additional Volkskrone moving in. We are seeing additional Riflemen arriving. This could be a bit of a fight right there. Riflemen here moving in from one flank. Of course, we are seeing pioneers, which can provide a bit of close support for the Volkskrone right there. We are seeing additional Volkskrone. Oh, are we? There they are, coming in from the north, but we are seeing the Riflemen hitting at the same time. Although these Riflemen might soon be going down, in fact, forced retreat. Volkskrone need to pull back to the next place of cover. Quite the fight already. Pioneers, engineers, Volkskrone, Riflemen all fighting away. Who shall win this? Who shall win this? And there we go, the Americans are leaving cover. They are pulling in for a close assault. Will they make it? Engineers going down to 1 man. Riflemen definitely also a bit wounded. And the Riflemen are trying to get the pioneers. Look like they aren't, and themselves are taking actually heavy losses, down to half health, down to 4 men. Volkskrone is down to 4 men, also half health now. This is rather quickly going south for the men of the Panzer Lehr. Down to 3 men each. And now looks like the Wehrmacht is conducting a full retreat. We are seeing an MG42 pull up from ArcSaber. Additional riflemen moving up, but will the MG42 be close enough? No, it's being a bit conservative, pulling back, not pushing too far ahead, which can certainly be understood, although I do feel it might have been an idea to sort of pull up at least here. Anyways, we're seeing riflemen pulling up. Will the MG42 be able to pull it? And already we are seeing a medic bunker going up for ArcSaber, and he's in fact got a 3rd pioneer squad. Quite interesting. And we're also seeing mines right down there for Atomicvaultboy. Also note he's actually wired off the entrance here, at least tried to. Pioneers here with a flamethrower at the same time, jumping out one of the windows apparently, since of course they managed to wire off the front door. And mine goes off, killing several and wounding pretty heavily these Volkskrone. They're not going to be very good on the front. And these pioneers need to get away. Rückzug. Attention, ArcSaber. Achtung, Achtung. Die Feind sind hier, nicht der. But we are seeing a bunker up. That's probably going to be a pretty early medic bunker, quite easily enough for ArcSaber. I would have suggested perhaps waiting a bit and getting some additional troops out on the field before going for that early a bunker. But it could work out for him. It could work out for the good Mr. ArcSaber. We'll of course have to see how this one shall work out for the brave boys in the Wehrmacht. Whereas the Americans are so far holding larger parts of the map. Going to have to put on some good pressure against the Hun. The crouch. Oh, we're seeing BARs. That's really going to help as well. I mean, note, the BAR is not just an offensive upgrade, it's also a defensive upgrade. I mean, it's essentially an automatic weapon that's largely good on several ranges, and of course can also, you know, hit the opponent while he's attacking. So in that sense, I mean, riflemen BARs are not just good at assault troops, they're also pretty good, I mean, all-around troops. They can hold much better than otherwise. Which of course also makes it much harder for the Wehrmacht to then sort of counter-attack and regain territory. And particularly now he's still not getting any further units. He's in fact getting a Kampfkraft center. In the flank, these pioneers need to get away. Medic bank almost ready. Pioneer standing out in the middle of the road. Oh dear, ArcSaber, ArcSaber, ArcSaber. Caution, caution, Vorsicht. Although catching some of these from outside of cover, we are seeing more moving in. We are seeing hitting the flank right here. MG42 turning in. More moving in right here. Oh, hitting the flank of the riflemen, flamethrowers, and Volksgrenadiers. Oh dear, pioneers down, pioneers down. Die Pioniere sind tot. And these Volksgrenadiers are getting pushed away by other riflemen. This is looking pretty bad for the Wehrmacht. Not the best of starts. Pioneers trying to pull in the wounded, but they are getting shot at, amongst other things. And thus we see, in fact, ArcSaber has been fully pushed off the field. Oh dear, he is getting some veterancy for his units, but I mean, he needs more boots on the ground. He's getting an additional MG42, which is definitely needed, but I think he should have gone that much earlier. He should not have gone for an early Kampfkraft center gotten veterans, at least if he was also intending to get a bunker up. I mean, not really the best timing, and that's rather given ArcSaber the advantage, because again, I mean, the essential amount of units he had was, you know, 3 about, and then of course the pioneers, which aren't really frontline troops, at least not without a bunch of veterancy. I mean, pioneers really need veterancy too to sort of become, you know, effective combat troops, because then they get elite armor, which does make it a bit harder for the opponent to take them out. Still some time, but we are now seeing additional MG42s moving in, putting the pressure, but of course already Atomicvaultboy is laying down mines, making it that much harder. Of course, even then, for ArcSaber to actually make a return, he's generally just making it harder and harder and putting on layer and layer of problems for the poor Panzer Lehr. Heavy machine gun fire. Moving in here against the bunker, apparently, although quickly getting suppressed by another MG42. And further flamethrowers coming to the aid. But ArcSaber really needs to break out of this. Getting minesweepers though, so he of course might be figuring that might be something up. Of course he's already seen some mines. But he needs additional troops, and there we go, he also needs to tear up a bit. Points being secured, minesweeper ready. Volksgren's getting caught though in the middle of the road. Less good, less good. Losing points left and right. The Americans are rather keeping up with pressure. Well done right there by Atomicvaultboy. We are seeing a tree ascender now, of course a supply yard going up. Interesting enough, there's been no doctrinal choice. I mean, early on some might be tempted to go for defense, although in this case I'd either recommend going terror or blitzkrieg. Terror of course with seal would allow him actually to push on further despite losses. And certainly make it a bit tougher in that way. But of course we will then later on call in a King Tiger for the much heavier support. The rifleman running into a lot of trouble right here on the eastern flank. Getting torn through by the MG42. Down to 3 men in fact. Definitely not looking good, but oh dear, he's actually got grenades. And is launching it on the MG42, clearing out the crew. Oh dear, oh dear. ArcSaber, you must move. Although it looks like the MG42 is holding out the eastern flank, but medics are moving in. And what? Oh my goodness, he's actually sacrificing an entire rifleman squad to recrew that MG42. While the pioneers are rushing in from every side. Leaving behind a BAR, come on. ArcSaber, pick it up, pick it up. That's a goddamn BAR, a Browning automatic. That's some automatics for you. Get it, get it, get it. MG42 is still holding the western flank. That's good, but again, grab that BAR. Do not let the enemy recapture it for some measure. And I think he might actually have trained some fresh riflemen to replace the ones lost, but still, I suppose not all bad mines getting swept. Might be getting a Grenadier squad sooner or later, but again, pick up that bloody BAR. That's an order, sonny. Let's go look at Atomicvaultboy. Rather now with a strong presence for rifleman squads and an MG42. He has been heavily armed. MG42 sitting up here ready to hit the flank of the Jerrys. The Krauts forcing them away pretty quickly. Jolly good job. Rifleman pushing up here, and still no one has secured the BAR, but looks Grenadiers are ready. Come on, Grenadiers, pick it up. For the sake of all that sacred, pick up that BAR. Come on, enough still no Kriegbags for ArcSaber. No, he's not making it. Oh, he's running into the building still. Now we do have one rifleman squad with 3 BARs. What an absolute whiff right there by ArcSaber. Rifleman moving up there, but getting stopped right there, I think. Mine stopping the other squad. Force Gunners, Pioneers. Pioneers is getting veterancy now. Grenadiers getting forced back. MG42 next position on the shed. Rifleman here getting forced off. The Wehrmacht still penned in. And sadly, ArcSaber does not really seem to be providing any solutions, just more problems. Again, the whole, not getting that BAR was an absolute miss, and he has seen it. I'm pretty damn sure of that. It's not getting in a miss. Now, of course, the MG42 here again providing another problem for the return of the Panzer Lehr. So pressing in, of course, now flamethrowers moving in just to make things worse. But of course, the medics are still working under fire. Now we're seeing another pronger of the Wehrmacht assault moving in from the north. Further veteranry on the way. MG shed getting assaulted. MG gunners getting pushed away. Rifleman pushed away. MG getting grenaded. Quite a bit of action. And we are seeing defense veterancy too for the support units. I mean, I believe the MG42 actually gains lead armor, but of course Pioneers also gain it, thus making them that much tougher. And not less likely to just get gunned down. So there we go, small victory. And of course, that's probably also sort of part of his plan. I mean, he's going to use the Pioneers a bit like what they were, assault troops, and definitely veterancy really helps that. We are seeing infantry up for Atomicvaultboy. Artillery getting called into the medic bunker. So far, though, the gunner seems to have been having a bit too much of the moonshine, and is so far not really hitting at all. And I think that medic bunker might still be standing. In fact, we could be seeing another Grenadier squad out for ArcSaber very soon. Rifleman pushing onwards, trying to gun down the medics. And the forces of the Panzer Lehr push onwards once more for the fatherland. Grenadiers on the eastern flank with some Pioneers and a flamethrower. Setting fire to the rifleman inside the house. Pioneers again pushing off. And once more looks like they might be making out of there. Rifleman coming under heavy fire. We're seeing another good flank right there. I mean, Atomicvaultboy really good at sort of trying to catch all the different sides. Grenades left and right. Grenadiers could be going down. Veterans, you want for some of the riflemen. Grenadiers making out their fresh Grenadier squad out. Grenadier force. Oh, heavy losses for the false Grenadiers. Flamethrowers, Grenadiers left and right. Veterans 2 for the infantry. A mortar, I think, could be helped. But there we go. MG42 getting up all in there. Also with an MG42. MG42s here and there, everywhere. Pioneers moving in. And the MG42 went down. Rather than getting forced out. Getting burned alive by the Sturmpionier, what with Veterans 2 and a flamethrower. Riflemen running out left and right. All of a sudden, oh my goodness, Atomicvaultboy's just been gutted. I mean, most of his units are down to 1 man, if not less. You could in fact be losing a rifleman squad right there. No, it looks like Lady Luck is on his side this time around. And also now he's actually moving up on the western flank much more easily. So this could be the turning point for ArcSaber and the Panzer Lehr. Flamethrower engineers desperately throw themselves into the fight, only to get gunned down out in the open. We are seeing a tank depot up for Atomicvaultboy, which is definitely going to be punishing the Hun ArcSaber for his Hunness. It's quite a bit of action already. Question is, of course, will ArcSaber be ready for this Sherman surprise? Was that going to hit him very, very hard on the nose? Sadly, he doesn't seem to have any Panzerschrecks or the Panzerabwehrkanone at the moment. Of course, we are seeing Atomicvaultboy pushing onwards. Sherman following up. 50 caliber soon ready. And there we go, moving in, opening up on the Pioneers. Guns blazing. Nothing really blazing in return, though. Riflemen moving in. Grenadiers holding out. Riflemen, in fact, suffering losses out in the open. And we are seeing a grenade against the position. Only one man down. Veterans you want for more riflemen moving up on the western flank. And we are seeing a full retreat. Bunker in repair, but I think the Sherman cleared out. The Pioneers doing that. Moving in against the MG-42 gunners. Pack moving up
after our victory.
In a desperate bid to stop the Sherman. Several good hits, almost down to half health. Could we be seeing a Panzer Faust from ArcSaber? So far does not look like it. Come on, Panzer Faust, my friend. Oh, ow! That was a bit nasty. Just blasted out 4 false grenades with 1 shot. Pushing up here through the center. Running into some grenadiers. We are seeing grenades, trying to get them out of there, of course. And looks like ArcSaber is fully enough in control and not too occupied with the Germans to quickly keep an eye on that, of course. Riflemen taking losses to the grenadiers inside the building.
Enemy unit down.
And I think some Pioneers went down right there. Might be close to Veterans 1 for that Sherman, increasing its speed. Come on, ArcSaber, vorwärts zum Sieg. Definitely not looking good for the Panzer Lehr. Once more, they have been thrown back after a small, brief moment where it looked alright. He got pushed back. Riflemen moving in, coming under heavy fire. Pioneer engineers getting pushed back.
Contact! Crowd infantry! Rifle squad has the objective.
Large force of infantry for ArcSaber, several grenadiers, I think, several false grenadiers. Definitely not bad. Finally getting some damn Panzerschrecks, about bloody time. Small engagement up here. Riflemen moving forward, grenading the poor Pioneers, but themselves taking rather severe losses to the Grenadiers. And the Sherman is getting repaired. No such attempt at a Panzer Command or a Sturmarmory for ArcSaber. I think that would be the greater move.
We've upped the ante. Production is now at double time.
Weapon support center is
As long as he doesn't bother with an armored car or an Ostwind, he needs something to take on that Sherman first. A bit of barbed wire here. I think he should have done that much earlier when he could have, instead of, you know, barbed wiring there. Engineers moving up here, coming under 500 Grenadiers. Riflemen here, not doing too well. Grenadiers pushed back. Still doesn't look like there's a doctrinal choice for ArcSaber. Engineers could be going down on the eastern flank.
Our forces are taking
and they did. Mine hit up here. Nasty that. And these engineers could be sharing that fate if they're not careful. 4-6. There we go. Pushing up here. Pioneers getting pushed back. Engineers not doing too well. We're seeing another push here in the south. Volksguys and Grenadiers holding back the riflemen. We are seeing a Sherman adding to the madness, to the carnage. Still not a single response from Atomicvaultboy ArcSaber to stop what Atomicvaultboy is doing, which is utterly smashing aside his defensive lines. Let's just speed up a bit. Medic went down, I think, to that nasty Sherman. Still no structures. Bit of a miss, but let's go have a look at ArcSaber. who is going for the battle phase. So there'll probably be a Panzer Command. Although part of me thinks the Stug would have done the trick just as nicely. At least initially, we're seeing a second bunker on it, possibly an MG bunker, possibly a repair bunker, or possibly a medic bunker. We'll see. Mine going off here, stopping these riflemen, and an attempt at, of course, laying down tank traps to sort of limit the movement of the Sherman. Good move. Small engagement right here, Grenadiers and rifle. Ooh, grenade at the Grenadiers. Heavy losses, Pioneers moving up, or are they? Make up your mind. There we go, Pioneers burning away at those Yankees, roasting them alive. 12 kills for those Pioneers, quite nice. Riflemen moving up. Ooh, knocking out the Grenadiers with a grenade. Oh dear, right in front of it. Oh dear, he could be losing a Panzer. Oh, he did. He lost a Panzer, and now we're seeing artillery from the base of Atomicvaultboy. What just happened there? They just sort of blew up in a burst of blood. Was that magic? Is that just sort of lacking artillery and animation? They just sort of... I'm not sure that, but it did look a bit eerie, you know, when just people, you know, explode in blood without no apparent reason. Could be the Americans are using black magic. We're seeing an additional medic bunker up for ArcSaber. Interesting, it's quite rare you see that, but I mean, that doesn't mean it's bad. It just means, of course, he could be focusing up, of course, for a harder fight, of course, trying his best to keep units going, and of course, an additional medic bunker can rather help with that. But he is floating an ungodly amount of command points. He could go blitzkrieg, he could go terror, he could go defensive, but I think he should be going something. Not really good, that sort of level of floating points. Rifleman Sherman moving out on the west, going after the Pioneers, pushing them away. Panzer Command going up as well. He could in fact be getting a Panzer IV, or even a Panther as soon as it's done. Rifleman moving up, opening up the Grenadiers, and we're hearing more artillery. Knocking out a nice chunk of that house. Medic down, I repeat, medic down. In fact, he's very close to getting a Panther, which would definitely be a #1 priority, at least against that Sherman initially. Then you could also get some Panzer IVs to assist. Must have spotted those Pioneers laying down a mine, not unusual. Let's just speed up a bit. No! He's getting a bloody Ostwind! I mean, he's got a Sherman wreaking havoc. And he gets an Ostwind. The infantry's not his problem, the Sherman is. What an absolute clockwinder. And the more galling part of this is he's level 16 with all 4 armies. But really, what an absolutely blastedly daft move. I mean, really an Ostwind? I mean, that's just pointless, and he's not even bothering getting veterans for it. Come on, get at least a Panzer IV to take on the Sherman. And meanwhile, it looks like Mr. Atomicvaultboy is getting an additional howitzer to rain further death and destruction upon the lines of the Jerrys. Grenadiers and Volksgunners trying to deal with the Sherman, but getting hammered by it. Panzer doing that damage, but again, had he just gotten a Panther, that Sherman would easily have been history. More artillery hammering everywhere. Ostwind moving forwards. He could soon be getting a Panther again. Come on, ArcSaber. Panzerkampfwagen 5, mein Herr. Du brauchst es. Rifleman moving into the Ostwind. And of course the Sherman moves in, and there's again the Ostwind can't really do anything against that. Come on, get a Panther, you've got the resources.
seizing our territory. Cowards attack our forward base.
Come on, Panther. You can even get veterans you want for it at this stage. Just do it. Don't float so many resources, you blithering buffoon. You meandering maroon. Grenadiers and force guys moving up. They're getting the engineers trying to repair the Sherman, but come on, get something to really kill that Sherman. Get a Panther, or at least a Panzer IV. Get some veterancy for it. He's actually lost a Grenadier squad. I mean, come on. At least make an effort. Lots of artillery, though, of course, making it a bit difficult. And, of course, we are seeing artillery attacks on the base. Pull it out. Again, that's rather why you, for example, place building at the edges, so you can reinforce it. Come on, ArcSaber. Attention. Achtung, Achtung. Dunkopf. And we are seeing a medic station actually up for Atomicvaultboy. Interesting move, although not really well placed. A bit too obvious. And obviously being dealt with quite swiftly by ArcSaber's Ostwind, but again, get some armor to deal with the Sherman. You can even then march in and get out those howitzers. Come on, mate. Just do it. And then he gets another Ostwind. What sort of demented mind runs this game, or at least plays this army? And how do you get level 16 with that poor adaptation to what the bloody hell's going on in the battlefield? Moving out on the eastern flank, grenading the Grenadiers, pushing them away. Good, good. But I mean, there's clearly a place on the eastern front for ArcSaber after this, and it's not going to be in command of some prestigious division. It's going to be in command of a penal division on the front line. Or a penal company. Because this is definitely bordering on incompetence of the criminal kind. And it certainly shows that still there are some players who can't really get rid of the idea that somehow the Ostwind is like a super panzer. It's not. It's a flak panzer. It's meant to deal with infantry, light vehicles and aircraft, not tanks. You deal with tanks with other tanks suited for the task. So again, get a bloody Panther or a Panzer IV. I mean, he's essentially just throwing away any chances he has of victory simply by getting Ostwinds, which he do not need.
Dead too.
I mean, this is not really acceptable by any length. And I certainly hope people will be learning from this. Again, there's a place in it for everything, including Ostwinds. It's not when you have a Sherman which is causing you a huge lot of problems which you need to knock out. Then you get a Panther or a Panzer IV. You do not get a bloody Ostwind. Lots of artillery now hammering the center again. Pack exposed. Somehow looks like so far it's making out of there. Oh, there. Oh dear, one went down. Still no doctrinal choices for ArcSaber. Ostwind moving in to support his infantry, which is caught out in the middle. Although the riflemen are the same. Could be losing a rifleman squad right there if he focuses. Down to one man. Looks like he makes it out of there. A bit unfortunate. Other rifle. Oh, heavy losses. Pick up the BAR. Pick up the BAR. Come on and get a proper Panzer. Pick it up! Oh, for heaven's sake!
Cowards attack our forward base.
He did not. Oh, come on, you! Oh, this is definitely not acceptable by any length. Repair bunker on the way. Come on, get a Panther. At least also get some energy for your armor. Christ, where did he learn armor tactics? The French?
They have lost a unit. Jawohl. opponent has 200 points.
Well, at least the medic bunkers are actually keeping in the game, but I mean, that's it. I mean, that certainly seems to be his brightest moment. Finally getting a Panther. Now just get Veteran C1 for it. And get a Doctrine up, for heaven's sake, you. Leclerc. And look, now the Sherman's actually managed Veteran C3. I mean, that's how poor ArcSaber's handling of this has been. He could probably knock it out faster without suffering so many losses, but just kept at it. I mean, it defies all sanity. I mean, how can this guy be level 16? He must have been extraordinarily lucky or something. I mean, I can't really imagine otherwise. Panther finally arrives. Now just some veterancy for it. Veterancy. Meanwhile, we have some grenadiers rolling out his rifle, but these grenadiers definitely need to get out of there. And it's actually time to look at Atomicvaultboy once more. M18 down. Again, get some veterancy for it. Veterancy 3 riflemen. Well, it looks like he's actually lost one rifleman squad. I suppose that's a small bonus for Mr. ArcSaber. In fact, looks like it's going once more going backwards, because now he's lost all the armor. Now he's only down to infantry, and that way, I mean, the 2 medic bunkers will definitely help win out, because again, the placement of Atomicvaultboy's medic station was, well, not really good. It's rather sorting in, quickly getting knocked out. MG42 though being secure once more.
Enemy unit down.
Of course, the artillery is doing its best, of course, to ensure that the losses of the Wehrmacht are pretty high. Both howitzers just hammering away into the German lines. Grenades going off left and right. Veterancy being gained. And right on the Panther. Still not one shred of armor veterancy. I have no idea why he is so utterly repugnant to that idea, or repulsed. I'm not sure, whatever. Moving in here. What could he be doing? Perhaps acting a bit up. Oh dear. Hang on, just ran out of space. My apologies, first time that's happened in some time. But again, that 1 hour long episode really drained up a lot of that. Anyways, this won't be... Oh, anyways, rocket strike. Of course, he's gone defensive, but I mean, Christ. He couldn't even aim right. Oh, dear. Definitely looks like ArcSaber has a lot left to do in terms of execution and sort of deeper game strategies. I mean, he's definitely good at holding on. He's really, you know, in high on the endurance scale, I suppose. But I mean, in terms of, you know, actually competence, I'm not entirely sure. I mean, I'm sure it works against some players, but I mean, really, he's made some really nasty mistakes. And again, a no veterancy for your armor is not good at all. But holding out here, definitely much more skillfully, I suppose, now. Draining out the life, and I suppose that's rather what he's good at. He's good at attrition. I mean, that seems to be sort of ArcSaber's skill, attrition. That's rather, again, when he sort of breaks out, that's because he's essentially ground down his opponent. And there we go, he's finally now forcing it back. Atomicvaultboy again with heavy losses. Atomicvaultboy is barely holding on. Again, it's basically just his ability to grind down his opponent, and it's like whetstone. Of course, what Atomicvaultboy has, which a lot of his opponents doesn't, is lots of artillery, which is rather sort of negating it, which is definitely good. But again, I mean, ArcSaber definitely should not have been holding out with that many resources for so long. I mean, with that many command points. I mean, good heavens. MG42 getting assaulted. Rifle reinforcing, moving out once more. MG42 cleared out. More and more grenadiers streaming in. I mean, I think he's... Yeah, I think he... Oh! Bugger me, that just lost a lot. Even leaving behind a Panzer Lehr. Others again moving in. Those two medic bunkers really have paid themselves off, though. 4 ArcSaber, so I mean, that's certainly something, you know, perhaps to recommend for more novice Wehrmacht players, you know. Medic bunks, and again, medics... Oh my goodness, he just lost so many grenadier squads in seconds to that artillery. And again, that's something also very important to note. American artillery is utterly devastating. For those again complaining, oh, medic bunkers are just so cheap, remember, there's a lot in the American arsenal that can wipe out entire Wehrmacht squads in the blink of an eye, as you just saw there. And that's rather why stuff like that is necessary. That's because the American has so much firepower, which again, in seconds to remove everything the Wehrmacht has in a blink of an eye. Though it doesn't help that, I mean, ArcSaber's climbing up, and he might actually lost the most of his back, but still he has 4 grenadier squads. But again, he's lost quite a few. And essentially, it's the medic bunkers which is rather keeping him in this game, which is allowing him to fight on despite what otherwise would be crippling casualties. Still no veterans, even the Panzers. I mean, come on. I mean, really, is it that much of a bizarre idea to get a bit of veterancy for your Panzers? More artillery, grenadiers again getting absolutely slaughtered on the advance. No attempt at actually salvaging any of the wrecked armor around his base. Bit of stake there. M10 down, or at least soon to be. MG bunker on the left flank. Quite interesting. I mean, rarely we actually see an opponent with that many bunkers as well.
Objective secure.
Again, he seems to be a rather strong fellow when again it comes to attrition and grinding down his opponent. Probably should have not been tried. It's quite extreme. But even then, it's not enough. It's far from enough. MG hiding in the repair bunker. Artillery towards the Wehrmacht base. Artillery towards the bunker line. Another bunker going up. My goodness. This is practically Fortress Langres. Or Festung Langres. Another MG stopping the rifleman right there. Still no armor replacements. Now just hammering away. Grenadiers moving in. Going for the victory point. Let us return shortly to ArcSaber. Down to a lot. I mean, he's lost a lot of units. He's down to 2 grenadier squads. 2 MG42s and some pioneers. I mean, he's really lost a lot in this fight. And even now, the medic bunker simply can't keep up, I think. We're seeing another rocket barrage. This time perhaps a bit more expertly aimed. Getting that howitzer. Oh, there's still one left. MG bunker to cover the central victory point. We are seeing another Ostwind. Oh dear, he seems to be addicted to the Ostwind without truly understanding why you usually get one, and also understanding its main flaw and weakness. It can't deal with armor or tank destroyers. I mean, had this been an actual Hellcat, you know, in the actual war, it would have been actually been able to, but again, it's not, sadly. So again, do realize its strengths and weaknesses. Do get a bloody Panzer IV, you complete and utter miserable excuse for the Wehrmacht officer. Another Ostwind flak Panzer ready. And another howitzer ready. I mean, Atomicvaultboy clearly knows what needs to be done. I did not just see a tree fly through the sky. I did not. Pack getting completely outmaneuvered. Ostwind moving in. Hellcat dealing with the bunker. More artillery against the German lines. There we go. MG bunker on the eastern flank down. Bunker down. MG gunner down. Ostwind getting assaulted by the Hellcat.
We are
Let's
losing
just beat these few
ground.
seconds up before I run out of space. And there we go, game over, a victory to the 2nd Infantry Division in the face of the Panzer Lehr, and of course, well lost them. I mean, we've already seen it. I mean, again, completely understanding what needs at when spaces, times, you know. He got Ostwinds when he definitely needed either a Panzer IV, which could also do it with infantry, or a Panther. I mean, really, lack of veterancy for the Panther, but otherwise, I mean, clearly the 2 bunker moves was definitely great, but of course also the countering with 2 howitzers was also a good move by Atomicvaultboy in response. I mean, it really chewed up ungodly amounts of German infantry, and again, that's also why you get medic bunkers, partly to help with all the heavy attrition you're going to be experiencing. I mean, what rather seemed to be, you know, the specialty of ArcSaber was essentially just attrition, grinding down his opponent and then pushing forwards. But again, I mean, he made several flaws, some which were quite critical. Again, Ostwinds when he didn't need them, no veterancy for his armor when he needed it, and he also seemed to miss just picking up BARs which could have helped him against the opponent's infantry. It's really flaw after flaw which rather became critical and undermined his entire effort. So there you go. Do hope you enjoyed this game, do hope you learned something. If you did, want to subscribe, tell your friends, and if you didn't, well, want it and then replay and go of your own. And of course, thank you all for subscribing, and of course keep on subscribing, keep on telling your friends. Cheers.